Hello everyone, I am Aviskar Sangrola L420251017 and this video demonstrates my web-based maze game Pac Boi developed using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. The game is inspired by classic Pac-Man style arcade games and focuses on grid-based movements, procedural maze generation, enemy AI, collision detection and progressive difficulty. I'll walk through the core systems, explain how the code works and demonstrate my main features. The game world is built on 17 by 17 grid, which is stored internally as two-dimensional array. Each value in the array represents a tile type such as walls, path, dots and power palettes or spawn points. Each of these values here represents the grid array in the matrix form ing. The maze is generated procedurally using a seeded random number generation, which means the same seed always produces the same maze to keep the layout fair and visually balanced. Only half of the maze is generated and is mirrored. For example, this 9th row, the 9th column is mirroring this and this block, which is represented in these lines of the codes. After generation, a flood fill algorithm runs, which means that this is going to be generating a path or dots from this line to this line, and it is getting mirrored from this to this. The player movement system is grid based and control using the keyboard arrow. A direction buffering system is used, which stores the current direction and next request direction. For example, when I'm moving the Pac-Man, when I press arrow in this state, the buffer will store the data and check for this path, so it will make the Pac-Man follow that path without getting stuck in this block. That was the example. So finally, when the player collides or the dots or power palettes, those items are removed from the grid. When colliding with the ghost, the one life is lost. The most complex part of the code is the ghost AI system. Each ghost is an instance of the ghost class and has its own position, direction, speed and behavior mode. The red ghost only targets player's current position. Pink ghost targets several tiles ahead of the player. Cyan ghosts uses the vector based targeting, and orange ghost switches between chasing player and retreating in the corner when it gets too close. So finally, the game uses a finite state machine to manage different gameplay states. Ghost switch between scatter mode, frighten mode and chase mode. Frighten mode is the mode when hitting the power of dots give them the ability to become the ghost. Difficulty increases progressively when 25%, 50% and 75% of the dots are collected in the aggressive mode. Finally, the player starts with 3 lives, which are dynamically added using JavaScript. When all the lives are lost, the game depends on the end and prompt the player to enter the name. Once all the dots are collected, the level is marked as completed. Finally, to conclude the project, Pac Boi demonstrates procedural maze generation, state-driven enemy AI, collision detection, progressive difficulty and persistent scoring within a browser-based environment. The project meets all functional requirements and goes beyond them by implementing unique enemy behavior features, and that can be easily extended in future. Thank you for your patience.